All right, Miles, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins here for a little bit. Look, this is a team, as we all know, the offseason, of course, what they've done, and of course, building off what they did in the 2022 campaign. This is a team all in. They are a top flight contender heading into the 2023 season. And the Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins just made a really smart, under the radar move that I think will be huge for them come regular season time.
Yeah, Nick, the Dolphins have made plenty of incredible moves this offseason. Some of them are pretty easy to see. You see the big ads, the big headlines. Those ones are everybody recognizes. But I think there are some under the radar takes that the true Dolphins fans have that nobody maybe has kept their eyes on. So that's why in today's video in the comments below, we want to hear your under the radar Dolphins takes. Give us the hidden gems of this Dolphins team that you don't think people are really seeing in the comments below. And we're going to pick some of our favorites and share them on our next Dolphins video. Also, Nick, I'd like to ask everyone to stay tuned to the end of today's video to hear a message from our partner, and that is Neuro. They have some great products to give you a quick and easy boost of energy. We love to take their mint or gum right before the show, keep us laser focused, give you the best Dolphins content available. So stay tuned to the end of this video, hear more about Neuro and their products, and get your hands on our discount code. But Nick, nonetheless, speaking of good moves, what is the latest move the Dolphins have made?
Yeah, so Miles, I think you hit on something there. Is that a lot of the big moves Miami has made? It's been the headline grabbers, of course, the acquisition of Jalen Ramsey, the young running back A-Chain, the strong presence he already has on the team. Those have been dominating the headlines. But Mike McDaniel and company recently made a really smart move, and I think it's going to be huge for them for the 2023 season. And let's go get into the report, and I'll tell you why I think it's a really smart move. If you want to pull it up, Miles, this is from NBC Sports. Okay, the offseason rules allow teams to have 10 OTA, organized team activity sessions. The Dolphins have opted to conduct only 6 of them this year. On Wednesday, Coach Mike McDaniel explained the reason for giving up 4 permissible May-June practices. A lot of things factor into it, McDaniel told reporters. I think that by and large, players, coaches, people in general do best when why is explained to them. In this particular situation, I think that it's crucial that we have, as convicted present, deliberate football players when they're approaching practice and really recognizing how each opportunity is very crucial to the development of the team. I think we're able to acknowledge the players' hard work and they get positively reinforced with actual action. I think it goes a long way. They're afforded the less practices because they've earned it because of the way they've approached the whole offseason. Minus, I know there's a lot of old school coaches and a lot of fans out there that'll say, like, well, we got 10 practice. We have to use every second of all 10 of them in order to get better. The Miami Dolphins don't. We know their team is extremely talented on offense, defense, great coaching staff. Addition of Vic Fangio is going to make this defense even better. Tua's health, as long as that's hopefully not an issue, they're going to be set at quarterback. McDaniel's a good offensive play caller. No matter how you look at the Miami Dolphins, they are set. They don't need extra OTA practices, right? Even the rookies are more just adding in incremental pieces to give them an additional boost. A-Chain is another running back. Higgins could be another receiving target at the tight end position, but he would be their number 4 or 5 receiving target. They don't need all these OTAs. They need just enough to get people in the building, get a little rhythm back, make sure everyone's on the same page. Don't risk any injuries. Don't risk burning people out. Because, look, that's a real thing. And when I played college football, again, completely different dynamic, much easier college than NFL. But I guarantee you guys, by the end of summer workouts, halfway through training camp, we were all fed up with football. We hated it. And there was still an entire season left to play. I guarantee you a lot of that happens in the NFL because they just burn out. They go through too much, and these guys lose along their edge. Injuries happen. Players wear down. They're human beings after all. There's a human element that really needs to be considered here. I love that Mike McDaniel is saying, listen, we're only going to use the 6. We did a good job in the offseason program. The guys are getting the work in. We don't need to use all 10. We're not going to burn out. We're going to make sure we're crisp, clean, ready to go for training camp, and then we're ready to go for the 2023 season. I love this move by Mike McDaniel. Miles, give me your thoughts on the Dolphins and everything with the offseason training right now.
Yeah, Nick, it really makes a lot of sense to me because you think it in different aspects of life. And that's a lot of something I've been paying attention to lately. When something makes sense for a football team, if you can compare it to something else in everyday life or other activities, other sports, if other people are doing these types of things and seeing success, that means that it's probably a good practice. Well, you see elite level power lifters or like weightlifters of any kind, they don't train every single day the big lifts. They don't squat every single day. They don't bench every single day. They maybe do it twice a week. Because after a while, if you do every single opportunity you get to train those muscle groups, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to wear yourself out. And like you said, halfway through OTAs, halfway through summer practices, all of that stuff, people aren't going to be as excited. Now, if these guys, the Dolphins players, take the offseason seriously, they take their conditioning, they do keeping their nutrition up, everyone's staying in shape, they come in to OTAs, to this summer training camp and they look like they're in good shape, then they are rewarded. That is going to be a huge boost of morale for the team in general, and it's going to build a lot of respect for the head coach, Mike McDaniel, saying, hey, I see what you've done. I recognize it. Here is your reward. Now, the flip side of that is he has to be on the other side of things. If people come in, everyone looks out of shape, et cetera, after the extra days off, all right, now everything's going to come back. So I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this Dolphins team really loves Mike McDaniel, and that's why everyone did come in great shape. Everyone looked like they took the offseason incredibly seriously, and they are ready to go out and try to win a championship next. But I love McDaniel's idea here, and I like the practice and how it pertains to other things in life. So I think it's really just a good overall idea.
Miles, you hit the nail right on the head. There's a book. It's one of my favorite books. Highly recommend it. It's called Peak Performance. It's a book that just goes through all great athletes and academics and just people who are really good at doing things in life. They talk about people that run 4-minute miles, champion weightlifters, things like that. And the equation they talk about, in order to grow, in order to get better, you need stress and then rest. You need an equal or at least a deliberate amount of both. A lot of coaches, a lot of organizations, they focus on the stress part. That's practice, that's film sessions, that's all that. They don't care at all about the rest part. They say, listen, we're just going to stress. In order to grow, in order to improve, in order to get better, or at least maintain, you need to have an equitable amount of rest paired with the stress as well. Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins recognize that. They're kind of ahead of the curve here. It's really smart. And I think it's going to pay huge dividends for Miami come the regular season. They're going to last longer, fewer injuries. They're going to be great down the stretch. Dolphins fans will look back in the offseason and say, this was a key move here by the organization. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner in today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big-time game-winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.